Hey everyone, Shabby here and welcome back to another random match on WWE 2K18. Now this one has been suggested by Fabian Schluter and it is a first blood match. Our first attempt at a first blood match on this game. We've made it through the match creators. Thank you very much for that one, Fabian. Great idea. Now I believe, this match has been in the hat for a long time, so I think even Fabian might have forgotten about it, but I believe the idea behind this match was from a long time ago, I think, when the game roughly came out. I think the idea was, at some point, whether there would be a battle for power. Triple H representing Raw, of course, himself and Stephanie in charge of Raw, and Shane representing SmackDown. So I believe that was the idea behind it. But it would be a really interesting match. It's one they haven't done yet, and it's one that I feel like at some point may just happen, because Shane... I reckon Shane versus Triple H at Mania would actually be potentially a match-stealing show. A match-stealing show? A show-stealing match. Because if you think about that, well... If you think about it, Triple H has stole WrestleMania quite a lot of times when you think about it. This year, the best match on WrestleMania was between... I had Triple H in it with Ronda Rousey. The year before, the best match at WrestleMania was Shane O'Mac versus AJ Styles. The year before that... Oh, I can't remember who it was now then. Well, Triple H versus Taker have been stolen Mania for a good few years. One of my favourite matches... I've not watched this match in a long time. I have to dig it back out again. But Triple H versus The Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania... See, I'm really bad for watching old WrestleManias. Like, I'll go and watch a PWG show I've seen like 5 or 6 times, over and over and over again, but digging out an old WrestleMania and watching that is just, it's not something I do very often. And I know there are, I was talking before WrestleMania, wasn't I, about going back and trying to watch some of the best matches in WrestleMania history that I'd never seen before. And I think that one there, Triple H versus Taker, was definitely one of them. There was Owen versus Brett. I might just like literally go through WWE's top list of WrestleMania matches and just go through them all, to be honest. But then again, I could definitely watch WrestleMania 17 over and over again. That was a fantastic show, if I remember correctly. That was the one with Austin versus The Rock in the main event. We had Triple H versus The Undertaker. We had the first TLC match. We had the hardcore match where Raven got thrown through a window, run over by a golf cart, if I remember correctly. Vince versus Shane was on that show as well, where Shane first hit the coast to coast for the first time. It was such an insane show. It was really, really good. But yeah, I personally can see this as a potential WrestleMania match in the future. Maybe they could go along the angle of there's a big free agent knocking around and both Raw and SmackDown both want him, so they decide the best way to decide which brand gets them is for basically Triple H and Shane to fight. The winner of the match gets the big signing. I think that would have been a good idea. But I like Shane. I like Shane in the ring. Not the biggest fan of Shane on the... I used to be a massive fan of Shane on the mic and as a character, but I think the problem is now is that he's just become a bit too overbearing. It's a bit too much. He's dominating every single episode as well. Well, he has been dominating every episode of SmackDown, but of course he's stepping to one side now and leaving Paige to run the show. That's a massive deal for Paige to be given that GM role. But as we know, the GM role generally only lasts a year. Although Kurt Angle seems to have kept a hold of his role, which is a little bit of a... I don't know whether they might still lead towards that change in hands at some point. With the whole thing with Stephanie signing Vince and... Stephanie signing Owens and Zayn under Angle's nose could be a bit iffy, but who knows? We'll have to try and find out as time goes on. So this match could be interesting. This could go a long time. This could be quite a short match. It's tricky. I'm not 100% sure how quick people generally are busted open, but the rules for this one are simple. It's basically first person to bust the other one open wins, I suppose. No countouts, no disqualifications, no pinfalls, no submissions. It's literally just all down to make your opponent bleed. With big knee strikes in the face like that, Triple H could have a big advantage here. And of course, like I said, this one was suggested by Fabian Schluter. So if anyone else has any other suggestions for the random match series, then do drop them down in the comment section down below. And of course, like I said, I'll get them in the hat. And if yours gets pulled out, you'll get a shout out just like Fabian does. Fabian? Fabian. And I do apologise, Fabian, if I pronounced your surname incorrectly. I feel like I've asked this question before, and I think I did get it right last time. But if I did get it wrong, let me know, because I think you have still got a few more in the hat. So if any more you'll get pulled out. If any more of yours get... But I can't talk at all today, can I? I can't talk at all. Oh, Triple H sending Shane right into the ring post. And Triple H is definitely in the control of this match at this point in time. We've seen some very, very big maneuvers which have potentially weakened Shane's head. I'm hoping this does go a decent length, though. I don't want this match to be too short, but it'd be nice, because if this is a pretty good match, then there's maybe a match we can use in our Universe mode at some point. I think it would work really well in our upcoming Carnage Universe mode, because that's one of the things Carnage is all about, is blood. As Shane finally starts to get some aggression for the first time in this match. Can he build upon it, though? I think Triple H has got the big advantage stat-wise in this match, and Shane sending Triple H face first into the ring post. I was going to say WWE don't do this match very often, but they don't do this match at all anymore, do they? They try and avoid blood at all costs, even though Brock sometimes decides when the crowd's not... you know what, I have to appreciate Brock for that, you know. I know we don't like Brock. Well, I would say we. You guys might like Brock, but I know Brock is somebody who's not in everyone's good books. But the fact at Mania is that the match at Mania wasn't going very well. The crowd weren't taking to it very well. So his reaction was, let's change things up. Let's make it a bit more legit. Let's bust Roman Reigns open. And that's exactly what he did. So whether, I'm not sure. I don't know whether to give him props for that, for reacting to the voice of the crowd and changing the match up a little bit. Or whether it was just a immature move and Vince is not going to like it. Vince won't like it at all, because now they've got to put a higher age rating on the DVD. They can't put it down as a... They can't put it down as a PG anymore. As Triple H back in control of this match, then I feel like one pedigree on the outside might just do Shane in. And when I pulled this one out, I instantly just remembered that last man standing match between Shane and Kurt Angle. That's a match I'll have to dig out at some point as well. That was a really good match. SummerSlam, early 2000s. I just remember AJ Styles. I remember Kurt Angle belly to bellying Shane O'Mac through one of the glass panels that said SummerSlam. That was insane. But Shane fighting Triple H away. Triple H does have his trusty sledgehammer out now. Oh, Shane, very clever. Just raining the punches right into the forehead of Triple H. Knows what he's doing. Shane bringing Hunter back up to his feet, and there's a big clothesline. Hunter back up on his feet now. Shane catches him in the front chancery. Into a jawbreaker. And it feels it's quite good. I think the intelligence of the game is quite good, because it does seem to be working on the upper body and the face of each other. Oh, big DDT on the outside. And that could have busted Triple H open. But you've seen them throw each other into the ring post head first and so forth, which is pretty good. Bulldog on the outside. So Shane's really going for it here now. Well, I thought Shane was going to go for a typical Shane maneuver then and maybe go for a big dive, but decided against it. Shane now looking for a neck breaker on the outside. Shane in control. Oh, nice jabs and a big overhand right to take Triple H down again. Really good match this one. Well done, Shabian. Well done, Fabian. I've just adopted you now. Nice running forearm by Shane as well. What's Shane up? Oh, Shane's got the sledgehammer and decides against it. Had a bit of a moral upturn there. Shane now taking Hunter up on his shoulders, but Hunter reverses with the reverse DDT. Bringing Shane back up to his feet. Now Triple H sending Shane into the barrier and then face first into the barrier as well. And Triple H really going for it. I can't imagine Shane's head's going to have a lot of left. He's going to have to be busted open pretty soon, I think. But Triple H now DDT on the outside. And that's definitely going to help the situation. Well, it's not going to help Shane's situation at all, but it's going to help Hunter's situation. Kick in the back of Shane. Triple H dropping a knee right in the face as well. And then telling Shane to suck it, I believe is the phrase. Big spine buster on the outside. Triple H now boot in the gut as well. I can't see Shane's going to last much longer here. If Hunter hits the pedigree on the outside, this will be match done and dusted, I think. Shane bringing Hunter back up to his feet. Looking for a neck breaker and hits it. I'm always a little bit worried because I'm pretty sure the neck breaker, even though it's a back of the neck maneuver, can lead to a bust open, as can the powerbomb on the outside as well. Shane brings Hunter back up to his feet. What's Shane's finisher on this game? Otherwise, it's going to be something crazy, isn't it? Let's face it. Shane taking Hunter down now. Hunter back up on his feet. Shane catches him, but Triple H reverses it into an arm breaker, but also sent him face first into the mat. And Triple H now stalking Shane O'Mac. This could be it. Hook in the arms. The pedigree on the outside. And yes, Shane McMahon is busted open from the pedigree on to the very, very thin rubber matting. It's not enough to protect you at all. And that was a really enjoyable match. I enjoyed this one. And it's really more enjoyable because it is very, very realistic. And it's one of those sort of ones that has a good outside chance of actually happening in the future. And you think that both Shane O'Mac and Triple H are probably going to end up on the WrestleMania cards again for the next few years. And it just makes sense for this match to happen, doesn't it? It really does make sense for this match to happen. So I would love to see it. And I think, Fabian, you've come up with a cracking idea. And yeah, well done, mate. So again, thank you very much to Fabian for that suggestion. Anyone else with any other suggestions, please do drop them down in the comment section down below. And of course, if yours gets pulled out, you will get a shout out in the process. Please do like and subscribe and all that other good stuff. And I will see you again tomorrow for another random match. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
The one, two,